No rental since last Wednesday. But I do have a house for sale at $18,000. I should have held that house until tomorrow. I could have gotten $20,000. Any city has thousands of dwellings. There must be some spot, somewhere.
Somewhere. Somewhere. Somewhere.
Somewhere.
Somewhere. Somewhere. Anywhere.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
Anywhere. Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Some spot somewhere where they can live as a family.
I've got to have a home.
No one is to blame, yet everyone is to blame. There's been a lag in home construction for more than 15 years. During the past 5 years, the population of the United States has increased 8 million. Now there are building material shortages of all kinds, and shortages of manpower in the building trades. Everywhere, citizens were aware of the emergency. In the city halls of hundreds of cities, in state legislatures, and in Washington. In the committee rooms of the national capital, a solution was sought. Be it enacted that to meet this emergency, funds and the necessary authority will be forthcoming to launch the Veterans Program. Veterans Emergency Housing Program is launched to help solve the housing emergency in hundreds of cities. The target, 2,700,000 homes and apartments started by the end of 1947. This can't be done overnight. Houses and apartments are not produced through miracles. This is the goal. The number of houses built in 1945 must in 1946 be 5 times greater, and in 1947, 6.5 times greater. This is a job on which government, industry, and labor will have to join in an all-out effort. The heart of this program lies in the community. To answer this pledge to the veterans, an emergency committee is created. A gathering of friends and neighbors. Called for the Mayor's Emergency Committee are a representative of veterans. It's their program, remember? And a local housing authority director. Here are a real estate dealer, a representative of home builders, and a representative of home financing institutions, representatives of the AFL and of minority groups. A delegate from the CIO, a newspaper editor. Women's organizations are represented too. Representative of material producers and dealers, a regional housing expediter, and the head of the local Veterans Housing Referral Center.
All right, let's call the meeting to order. Let's hear the reports of our committees.
The war is not over. This is for Operation Hometown USA, to redeem its pledge to their veterans. Such emergency committees are at work in Worcester, Pittsburgh, Chicago, Salt Lake City, Los Angeles, right across the nation, in large cities and small. What has this committee already done for their veterans?
All right, the first report is that of our referral center.
Our subcommittee, Mr. Chairman, has completed plans for the opening of a clearinghouse for information on housing for all returning men of the armed services. In the referral center, we find out all we can about every veteran's needs. Here we give him consultation and advice. Does the veteran wish to build or rent? For rental, he is shown our classified listings. We have classified the type of vacancy that we receive. However, if the applicant wishes to build, the veteran is told how application may be made for a priority to the state or district office of the FHA, and he is also told where he may find out about a loan under the GI Bill of Rights.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Watkins. And now let's have the report of our publicity committee.
We of the Publicity Subcommittee have asked local radio stations to make appeals and interview veterans. Newspapers have given space to cut out coupons, cartoons, and feature articles. We have issued posters. Letters have been sent to all clergymen in town to request the property owners of their congregations to open their homes. Similar letters to service clubs, women's clubs, and all realtors. And finally, to all property owners. We've tried to make everyone aware that they must help in this emergency.
And you're certainly doing a good job. The next step in the Veterans Housing Program is a survey of the city's present housing situation. Our report on this comes from a man whose wide experience in housing and real estate well qualifies him as chairman of our subcommittee on planning. Si, let's have your report.
We've made a complete survey of all unused housing space in our town. We've had our Boy Scouts comb all the boroughs for extra space. Maybe upstairs over that garage, there's an unused room, a spare room or attic that could be used temporarily. We've asked all our folks, people who are so situated, if they'd consider remodeling large houses into additional apartments. That helps. Now that's how we've tried to take the edge off the housing shortage in our town until construction can get underway and catch up with all this demand.
And the demand is certainly great, isn't it, Tom?
It really is.
Tom and I have made a recount of substandard housing, checked existing maps. We know just where we stand on that.
There are a lot of veterans in those houses. They should be considered.
Now here's one result of our survey. You'll recognize this as a map of our city. Here you'll find unused lots, some of them city-owned, taken over for back taxes. We've interviewed many of the owners of these vacant lots, tried to free them from cloudy titles. Now, many of these improved lots will be available for building within our price range. We've also made a study of the use of land beyond the city limits, land not serviced by city paving facilities.
Very good, Si. Good work. Now, about this construction that Si says must get underway.
It's pretty clear to us all that drastic steps must be taken. As local housing authority director, I want to report that we have established a veteran's preference for admission to our low-rent projects. The recount of substandard housing, based largely on our surveys, showed that there are many veterans' families living under slum conditions. Low-income veterans and their families are doubly handicapped in this emergency. We are trying to give them an even break.
Thank you very much indeed. That's what we're all here for. Now, Target number 1, 1946. Target number 2, 1947. Now, how do we get there? What's our path? Well, to help us along our road, we have with us today a regional housing expediter, Mr. Walter King.
We all agree that the Veterans Emergency Housing Program is going to depend primarily on community action. But the federal government is going to do everything within its power to help, to channel materials into homes for veterans at the right prices, to utilize its resources to break bottlenecks on a national scale. All government agencies